Hello and welcome my dear students. I am Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School, and you all know me, I don't need any more introduction. I welcome my all dear 3rd standard junior champs in today's science lecture. My dear little champs, in the previous lecture I sent you one simple class test which had all the objectives from chapter number 1 to 4 in combo. That means no separate chapters, the headings were there. The test was of the combination of all the objective questions from chapter number 1 to 4. And from your follow-up teachers, I have got the feedback that how many of you have appeared for the test, how many of you have sent me the photos of the test. Now that I hope that many of you are now active comparatively and you are sending me the photos. So this lecture is also going to be important for you all. So before showing you what are we supposed to do here today in this lecture, I hope that you are sitting with your rough books. Now what are we going to do today in this lecture is test paper 2 from chapter number 1 to 4. So again I have brought the test paper, which is test paper number 2. Obviously this will also contain objective. Here you also have few subjective questions in this paper. Make sure you don't cheat yourself. Now here there is no question of cheating to your teacher because I am not there in front of you. So you are your own supervisor. You have to judge yourself, I am not there. So make sure that before I display the answer, you're going to check your answer, you're going to write your answer, and then you're going to check your answer when I display it. Be ready with your books. Now I don't have to ask you to be ready with your books because you know the ones who are watching my lecture regularly, they will have already be ready with their books. So please give the heading test paper 2 in your books in the heading, in the header part, test paper number 2 or just test paper 2 as I have written, and then write chapter 1 to 4. These two are the headings you have to give, test paper 2, and then leave some space or leave one line below that you will have to give chapter 1 to 4 as heading. Also don't forget to write today's date, please. That is what I am asking you to write daily, even in the regular lectures. So this is class test, so you don't have to we don't have to remind you to just write the date, because that is what compulsory you have to write. So I hope that you have given the heading test paper 2 chapter 1 to 4. You have to be quick because then I'll have to give you the time for 2 to 5 seconds for each answer. So this is not as hard as the first test was. This is bit easier comparatively. So you have to be relaxed, but at the same time make sure that you write the answers properly. Okay, so some instructions here to give you. So write the question numbers properly, students. Now when you are sending me the photos, I have checked few papers. They simply just leave the line and they keep on writing the answers. This is about the few students, not all. So make sure you write the question numbers properly. Even if you leave the question, for suppose there are 4 questions in fill in the blanks and you don't know the third answer, you have to write question 3 and leave it blank. I am not asking you to write the question sentence. At least write question numbers and leave it if you don't know the answer. But make sure that you write the question numbers so that you will be able to know that how much you know and how much you don't know, how many answers you have attended. Second point is write with the legible writing. Okay, I don't mean to say that write with good handwriting. No, many don't have good writing. That does not mean they are not brilliant. It's okay if you don't have good writing, but at least it should be legible. That means big and clear, readable at least. Check your answers quickly when displayed the correct answer. So as soon as I display the correct answer, on the spot you have to check your answers and put tick mark or cross mark according to the answer. Make sure you don't calculate the mark on that point because you will not be having that much time. Okay, now I hope these instructions are very much clear to you in your mind and you also have given the heading. Let's get started with today's test. I hope that your concentration is on the screens, your ears are on the screens, you are listening to each and every instruction and you are ready for this 20 minutes test. Question 1. Fill in the blanks with the correct words. Now what you have to do is you just give the heading question 1. Give the heading question 1. Don't write fill in the blanks, nothing. Just you have to write question 1. Okay, I hope you are giving the heading properly. You just have to write the answers in here. You will be given the options in the brackets. You have to just write the correct answers and check your answers on the spot. Even if you have made spelling mistakes, you know what you have to do is, but here there is no question arises for spelling mistakes because options are already provided to you. So I hope you are all set. You have given today's date and now at the end you have written the heading question 1. Okay, so as if you are ready, let's get started with question 1. Number 1. How an animal eats depends on the dash it eats. Options are, as you can see in the brackets, food, grass. Options are food, grass. I'll read the question again so you'll get time to write the answer. How an animal eats depends on the dash it eats. It depends on its food or it depends on its grass. Please write your answers properly. You will have to write number, that is what I asked you. Answer 1. What is your answer? Please write it down. So always I give you 1 or 2 seconds to think and 1 or 2 seconds to write the answers, because those who have prepared well, those who are familiar with all the topics, they will not take more than this time. Okay, so the correct answer I am going to display. Please check your answers. The correct answer is food, because grass is eaten by herbivore or omnivore. So it does not decide how the animal eats, because animals are of different category. So here food is the perfect answer. I hope that you have checked your answer. Okay, so if you have checked your answer, please give answer number 2 as a label. Number 2. Dash eating animals have sharp pointed teeth. Options are there in the bracket. You can see plants or flesh. Dash eating animals have sharp pointed teeth. Options are plants or flesh. Dash animals have sharp pointed teeth. I hope you are writing your answers properly, students. Answer number 2. Please write it down clearly. And even if you have written wrong answer, even if you get 0 mark, no one is going to scold you or beat you. You yourself will be able to know how much do you remember. So it's not a kind of curse if you forget the answer. It's okay if you forget the answer. It happens. So just the motto is here. You try to write your answers on your own and you check it with loyalty, with honest heart. Don't bluff yourself. Anyways, the correct answer here is, please check your answer. The correct answer is flesh. Flesh eating animals have sharp pointed teeth because they need to tear their food with the teeth and their hands, their jaws. So I hope you have written the same answer. If not, it's okay. You can just put cross mark if you have written plants. If you have written flesh, you can put the tick mark. Okay, moving on to number 3. We should use dash crossing to cross roads. Options are zebra or giraffe. So we should use dash crossing to cross roads. I hope you are writing your answers. Options are there so that the spellings are also there. Don't try to make the spelling mistake. Don't try to write the answer on your own if you don't know the spelling in case. Zebra or giraffe, which will be the correct answer? So I hope in these 2 or 3 seconds you have written your answers, you have decided which answer is right, and that you have written your answers. So I cannot give you much time for this. The correct answer I am going to display here is zebra. Okay, so the correct answer is zebra. Zebra crossing. You haven't heard about the giraffe crossing anywhere, isn't it? So zebra crossing obviously is the correct answer. The name is so because it has black and white stripes on the roads. That is why it is named as zebra, named after the animal zebra. So we should use zebra crossing to cross the roads. Okay, I hope that you have checked your answer immediately when I displayed the correct answer, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. Okay, so if you have checked, moving on to number 4. The immediate help given to an injured person is called dash. Options are antiseptic or first aid. Please write your answers. Meanwhile, I'll read the question second time. The immediate help given to an injured person is called dash. Options are antiseptic or first aid. I hope you are writing your answers honestly and you are not just jotting down the answers from the screen. So even if I am not there, I have trust on you. So make sure you maintain that trust, you don't break that trust. Okay, so I hope you have written your answer by now. Let's see what the correct answer is if you have written the answers. So the correct answer is first aid. Yes. So 99.99 people, the students have written the correct answer. It happens sometimes if you forget your answer or if you have not watched the lectures regularly, you may write the incorrect answer. Anyways, the immediate help given to an injured person is called first aid, and the antiseptic cream is within the first aid toolkit or box. So I hope you have checked your answer whether it's right or wrong and you have put the sign of cross and right accordingly. Moving on to number 5. Plants need dash to grow. Options are there in the bracket right after the blank. Soil or rocks. Plants need dash to grow. Please write your answers. Options are soil or rocks. Okay, I hope that you are writing your answers properly and that you are not making any kind of spelling mistakes or silly mistakes. Even the options are there. Okay, so let's see what the correct answer is. So the correct answer is soil. Obviously soil. Rocks, if it is not there, it's okay, but soil is mandatory for the plants to grow at its full fledge. So please check your answer. Plants need soil to grow. So I hope that many, or I should even expect that all of you might have written the correct answers, because this is a basic one. This is not a twisted or anything else. Now that you have checked this, I hope that all the answers you have written will be correct. But if even none of these are correct, it's okay. You don't have to cry, you don't have to worry, you don't have to become tense. It's okay. You have the next chance, the second chance always. Now students, moving on to question number 2. So in the new page, on the next page, you have to give this heading question 2. That's it, nothing else. So what we are supposed to do here is state whether the following statements are true or false. Just write the answers. Yes, you are not supposed to write the statements. Even if the statements are small or big, that is not your cup of tea. What your cup of tea is, you have to just write true or false. That's it. For that, you need to read the sentences carefully. Again and again, I'll like to repeat that. Please write the answer number properly. You don't have to write the statements of this true or false. You have to write answer number. There's answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and likewise the sequence should be there. So I hope you are ready with the heading question number 2, and make sure you try to understand the statements even if they are twisted. Okay. And why am I asking you to write the answer numbers is, just imagine if you just write true, false, true, false, true, false without leaving the line or with leaving the line, that doesn't matter. But then we will not be able to recognize what kind of answers you have written for what question while we just go through your answers when you send us the paper. Okay, anyways, by now I hope you are ready with your heading. Number 1, the statement is, our house should be airy and should allow mosquitoes in. Please write your answer number 1, whether it is true or is false in your view. Our house should be airy and should allow mosquitoes in. Okay, so don't make any kind of haste. Try to understand the statement. So if you think it is true, write down the true, or if you think it's false, you have to write false. Okay, so now if you have written the answers, please check your answer. I'm going to display the correct answer here. The correct answer, the statement is false. Why? Because first half is right, should be airy. Second half, allow mosquitoes in. Here it is written should allow. It is not written should not allow. If it was should not allow, then it was true. But here second half makes the entire statement as false. We should not allow mosquitoes to get in the house. So it is false. I hope that you have written the same answer. If not, it's okay. Anyways, I hope that you checked at least. Number 2. Soil was formed by breaking down of mountains. Please try to understand the statement. Try to recollect the data you have understood by the chapter. In the chapter number 4, soil was formed by the breaking down of mountains. How is soil formed? It was written in the second or first page itself. Everything was drawn. Diagrams were there. It was labeled, and every steps were clearly written here in the textbook. Okay, so if you written the answer, the correct statement, this statement is false. Why? Because the soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks, not necessarily from the mountains. Okay, so this is false statement. Just because of the mountains word, this is false. I hope you have written the same answer. Number 3, the statement is, synthetic fibers are made by silkworms. Synthetic fibers are made by silkworms. Okay, just try to understand the statement and write true or false. I will not give you much time. Synthetic fibers are made by silkworms. You know what silkworms are and what kind of fiber do you get if you have understood the chapter properly. Let's see what the correct answer is, and then you can check your answers. The correct answer is false, because from silkworms we get silk. The name itself says silkworms. Correct? So I hope that even those who have tried for the first time attending this answer, they will be able to answer it correctly, because the word itself says silkworm, so you don't get synthetic fibers from it. So this statement is false. Number 4, and I hope you have checked the number 3. Okay, number 4, soil can be made fertile by adding sand. Please write whether it is true or false. Soil can be made fertile by adding sand. So what do you think? Is it true or is it false? Please write your answers first in your rough notebook or wherever you're writing the test in. So just think about it. How can you make soil fertile? It was even there in that chapter of soil. That is chapter number 4. So that was the last chapter you understood. So you should be able to remember that, because it was not there in FA1, because though it was not there in FA1, it is going to be there in FA2. Okay, the answer is false. Soil cannot be made fertile just by adding sand. Correct? Farmers add manure to it. So if you remember, even it was there in the previous test. So those who have properly learnt the answers, prepared the chapters, and they are preparing for FA2, they might be able to answer this. So anyways, I hope you have checked your answers. Number 5, the statement is a grasshopper is always at the beginning of the food chain. A grasshopper is always at the beginning of the food chain. Please write whether it is true or false. Okay, so the correct answer, please check your answers. This statement is false because the plant is there at the beginning of the food chain, not the grasshopper. Never. So this is the false statement. Please check your answers whether you written true or false. Okay, students, kindly give another heading on the new page, on the third page, or on the flip side of the page, question number 3. Just write question number 3, that's it. So now what do you have to do is give 2 examples of each of the following. So not necessarily should have the same answers. Means what? It is not necessary that when I display the answers, your answer should match my answers. You might have written something else and I might have written something else, it's okay. But while you send the paper to the follow-up teachers, we will just check. So you have to just write the answers what you remember, but it should be correct. Okay, but for formality I will display the answer. I hope that you have given the heading question 3. Number 1, plant eating animals. Please write 2 examples of your choice of plant eating animals. It's not necessary that you will write only the answers which is there in the fair book. You can write the answers of your choice. Whatever animal you remember, whichever animal you remember, eats plant. Any 2, but you have to write 2. If you have written 1, then you have to deduct your marks. Okay, so answer I have written here is cow and buffalo. Now you see, you cannot write omnivorous animal like bear. Then you will argue that sir, bear also eat plants and flesh both. No, plant eating animals, here it is written, that means only plant eating. You cannot write omnivore animal as here. So I have written cow and buffalo. So please keep these answers pending. Then you can even check your answers from the textbook. So we are not going to check your answers, we are just going to review it. Okay. Number 2, flesh eating animals. Quickly write 2 examples of your choice, students. Flesh eating animals. Okay, I hope that you have written the answers. Flesh eating animal. Here I have written answers lion and tiger. Both are carnivores and both are flesh eating only. You can write the answers of your choice and later you can check it from the textbook or from the Google. Number 3, animals that chew the cud. Animals that chew the cud. Please write down the answers. See students, while you check your answers from the textbook, if you don't get, you can Google it. Still, if you have the doubt, I am ever ready. You can call me and you can solve your doubts. But make sure you try to find it on your own so that you will be able to gather the data and you will know how to collect the data. Anyways, the correct answer I have written here is giraffe and buffalo. Yes, giraffe also does this. If you remember, it was there in the previous few lectures. They also chew the cud. So I have written this. Number 4, fibers from animals. Means natural fibers, you have to write any 2 from the animals. Okay, so I have not written the answers here, but answers can be anything because there is no use of me writing the answers. You can even write silk, which you get from the silkworm. You can even write wool, fur, anything. These all are the things you get from the animals. Now students, moving on to question answers. So you have to just write the answers and quickly check the answers. Only 2 to 3 questions I have brought for you. So please give the heading question answers in short. Question answers in short. So you will have to write the answers but quickly. Okay. So question number 1. What kind of clothes do people wear in summer? Just write the answer in short, very short. It could be even of half line, no more than one line in short. What kind of clothes do people wear in summer? Please write down the answers quickly. The sentence formation may change, but the content should not be changed. I will display the answers and you will have to check your answers. What kind of clothes do people wear in summer? Okay, so the answer I have written here is cotton and light colored. If you have just written cotton, it's okay, as it is short, but the correct is cotton and light colored. It is not dark colored. Opposite of dark is light colored. So this is the answer. Please check your answer. Okay. Number 2. What kind of clothes people wear in winter? Please write your answers. What kind of clothes people wear in winter? That means winter season. When it is very cold, the weather is very cold. Somewhere there is even snowfall. So what kind of clothes do people wear in winter? I hope that you have written your answers, as you have to write very short. So woolen, fur, etc. Okay? Woolen, fur, etc. It could be even leather. So I hope at least you have written woolen or fur, anything, any one thing you have mentioned in your answer. So please check your answers. Even if you have written leather, yes, it is made from the animal skin, so it keeps our body warm. Moving on to number 3. How are wire netting useful? Write it in short. Make the answer short. It even shows your composition skills. How are wire netting useful? Just the main part of the answer you have to write. This is what you even do in your online exams. Okay, I hope as you have to write it in short, you have written the answers. So what I have written is, lets the air in and keeps the mosquitoes and fly outside. So lets the air in and keeps mosquitoes and flies out. So when you just close your windows, you don't get the fresh air. But what do you do if you want to get the fresh air and keep the mosquitoes out of the house at the same time? You use wire netting. Okay, I hope that you have written the same answer or somewhat like this. Please check your answers properly and check your spellings if you have written something else from your textbook. Be honest, be loyal to yourself. Now students, this was the end of today's short test, class test. I hope that you have tried to attempt all the answers and you are going to send the checked and corrected answers to your follow-up teachers. Anyways, I'll take the data from the teachers. Now it's the time for thought of the day, given by Bojani Narjis of Standard 3rd. The thought is, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Excellent thought. We appreciate you, Bojani Narjis, for sharing such a wonderful thought. This thought means education is not preparation of life. So when you are in the school, that does not mean that you are preparing yourself for the life. The life is education. When you just keep on growing, you learn something new, not only from the school, not only from the books, but from the outside world as well. So that is also kind of education. They also teach you some of the other practical things. So this thought means that. This was very wonderful thought. I hope that Bojani Narjis, your friends, liked these thoughts. I hope that you are going to share few more thoughts and even your friends are going to share the interesting thoughts with us and keep us enlightening. So once more, I appreciate Bojani Narjis for her efforts for sending us the thought. And I also expect all your friends will send us the thought, new thoughts. So students, thanks for watching the lecture. At the end, I always thank you for watching the lecture because I really mean it. For the students who are really following all the lectures, we should thank you because you are keeping us updated and you are keeping our efforts So also keep sending the work to the teachers. You have to keep your work updated so that we can keep the note that how many students are sending, how many are not sending. We already have the notes and we are planning to appreciate few students in few days. At the end, take care. Goodbye.